Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're having a good Saturday. I had a Destash bundle last weekend, and so this week and today I've been sorting through some things again, and I've got another bundle ready for you. So I'm going to be putting this in my shop. It will be in my shop by the time you see this video, but my Destash bundles are just an assortment of craft and junk journal supplies, I would say. So let's just get started, and this won't be a long video. The first thing I have is a string of this fringe. I was going to put this separately in my shop, but I thought, well, I'll just put it in my Destash bundle. And it's this, it's pretty. I just don't know, you know, like these things I just have extra of or things like that. So that's why they're in a Destash bundle. This is a light green, in case the color isn't coming through on the camera. And it's kind of fringy, but it's looped fringe. If you could see here, the ends, they're not just straight, they're loops. And that would be pretty on the front, or on even on tags or journal cards, or on a page. You know, you could sew it or glue it on. There's a nice like straight edge here, like almost like a what do you call that, a gimp edge. Almost looks like that. So you have nice flat edge here that could be glued down. Anyway, all of that. That's wait, what is that? Let me see how long this is. Oh, I'm going to say, well, it's at least 4 feet long. I would say 4 feet long. So quite a lot of that. That's all. That's the rest of it that I have. I included some of these in my last bundle, which this is the balance of them. And they're little pieces from a scarf, which I have another piece of the scarf here. It was a crocheted scarf that was damaged, and I cut it up, and these were the pieces in between. It was all little doilies and, you know, a trim, and so I cut it up the way I thought it would be most useful. And these were the in-between the little doily pieces. So great for little clusters and, you know, decorations on, you know, pockets or journal cards or tags or pages or whatever. So a little baggie of those, that will be in there, all of those. This is a little bag of buttons that I got. I got a bag of sewing notions at an estate sale, and this little bag of their fabric, white fabric covered buttons. Let me take a couple out here so you can see them, so you can see what they are. But they have a little shank on the back here, if you can see that. Let me hold it up here. A little metal, it's like a little metal piece in there with a shank, metal shank on it. And the front is like this white kind of linen looking fabric, kind of a woven looking, you know, it's got a texture to it. Anyway, I thought if I was going to keep these, I would, you know, there's several different uses for these, but you can use them in charms and you know, like tassels. And you could, I was wondering if you could coffee dye those. That's what I would try. Or any color, you know, what you want. You're using any color, avocado, you know, blue, food coloring, whatever kind of colors you use. You could probably, I would think this would take some color. I haven't tried it, so I can't guarantee that, but that's what I was thinking if I kept it. So yeah, I'm just going through, and as I see things in my craft room that I haven't used in a while, or that I have extra of, that's what's going into these bundles. So these are two little rubber stamps. This is a penguin, and this is a heart right here. Yeah, it says, does it say love on it? I don't think so. I think it's just a heart design. Oh, it does say love. Here's what it looks like. Sorry. I couldn't see it over here, but you can see it here. That's what it looks like. So those two are going in there. Just a few playing cards. This little pack, I had all of these left. That was all that was left from that pack. And then a couple of these, which is, these are, I believe, Virginia Slims. It says, you've come a long way, baby. So those are, you know, they're all vintage, I believe. Some Barbie and a little dog with paws card, and it's just shaped differently. I got that in Happy Mail. So I thought I'd go ahead and put that in here. A pack of these. They're the plastic. They've never, I don't believe they've ever been opened. I never opened them. Let me see. They're easy to open though, so you can see what they are. Different colored plastic. I believe they're all like these plastic divider cards. So I don't know where I got them. I don't know if I bought them or I got them in Happy Meal, but I have a lot of these, so I decided to part with some. A little pin that you can use to make, hang charms from and things like that. This one's blue. It has does it have a sharp end? It has a sharpish end. So I guess you're supposed to be able to poke it through something and undo it here and maybe hang some, you've seen where people hang bead dangles and things from these, or even a slow stitch little project you could hang from there. So, the little mini ones that you can flip the fabric over and you have your slow stitch project on there. I have some myself. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm thinking of that. This is just like a little plaque. I think I got this in Happy Meal too. And it has a ball chain on it here, and you can use this. You could take the ball chain off and probably glue it down if you wanted to, or use it as a, hang it from something and just do your artwork right in there. Use this as like a little frame. So that's in there. A bell, a big bell, and a big bead. And I've been trying to use this bead and I haven't used it. It's a big, I don't know if it's handmade or it's kind of looks like someone made it, but I don't know. I got it in Happy Meal and I haven't used it. So I thought, well, I guess I'm going to have to part with that because I just haven't used it. So this is double stick tape or roller tape, I guess it is, not double stick tape, that I received in my Your Creative Studio box. And I don't use this. I don't use this kind of tape, so I thought I'd go ahead and put that. I just got it like, it wasn't this month, June, it was May, so it's not old or anything. So it should be perfectly good. I took it out of the package to see what it was, but I haven't used it at all, like not even once. I don't even think, did I experiment with it? I might have tried to experiment with it, but I don't even know if I did that. So really, it hasn't been used. So the rest is, okay, here's some, I was going to say the rest is fabric, but I have a few more book covers in this. I went through my book covers again, and I probably will have some more book covers or even books in the next few bundles, because I want to do one per week if possible until I get things organized in here. So I took the pages out of this, but it's a nice big book cover and pretty cute vintage, and it could be used. You can put a new spine on here, or see it's still together. I believe it's all still together. I don't think I sliced through any of this. It's got a pretty inside, and so you could use this original spine and make a glue book, a nice glue book out of that, or a journal, whatever you want to call it. It's like any junk journal, I think, in my mind, can be used for a glue book, so that's why I always say glue book / junk journal. I see it's coming apart right here, just by coincidence. I didn't take it apart, but right here there's a little, see that right there? Let me show you. It's like just a little, what is it? See right there? A little tear, maybe you can call it right there. So it might need a little mending or something. But you could use this original spine and put your bookbinding tape, whatever you use, on the corners, and then put a new fabric spine. Just use this one, cover it, to restore it. And the same inside, of course, you would cover this, and there you go. You have a journal cover, and a cute one. Fairy tale book, could be a fairy journal. So, and here's a plain one. This one is from this is Edith Holden cover, Nature Notes. This is the book cover. It's plain. That's what it is. So it's a blank slate. The spine is still connected except for right there. Hold on, let me close my door. Someone just came in the house, so I mean, I don't mind if they make noise, but or talk to me, but you know how it is. Anyway, so here, that's just a plain one. You can see this is a big one. See my hand? It's big. This one's a little smaller. I say a little smaller than 8.5 by 11. And then this is another, just a cardstock one. Those are hardback. This is a cardstock from a music book, like a hymn book. And this is, these are all vintage. This is some tabs that were in my index cards, not particularly the ones that I showed here. Just I have all my index cards and those divider cards in a drawer, and these were in there, and I haven't used them, so I put them in here. And then this is some pieces of file folder that you can use for whatever that I cut up. I was going to use them and I haven't, so instead of throwing them in the trash, I put them in here. So the next little part here is, the rest of it is fabric and trims and doilies and things. So we'll go through this real quick. I didn't measure the fabric. I just cut big pieces, big enough for, I say at least a traveler's notebook, but probably bigger than that. So this I put in last week's bundle too, because I have a bunch of it. So I'll be putting this in bundles until I only have enough left for me. You know what I mean? I have lots and lots and lots of this. And I got all this fabric at, you know, didn't buy any of it new. I got it all at thrift store. So this is that pretty two-toned yellow or gold, kind of like a checkerboard or a gingham type look. Two yellow tones or gold tones. And then there's this one, which is a pretty floral. Yellows and oranges and greens. And that one, this is probably the smallest piece in here. But that's because this is all I have. Like this piece and one other piece left here, and I'll show you. This is still big enough for a cover. See, it's just a square, but that's all I have left. That's why there's a small piece of that. And then this one is a nice big piece of this floral. And you know, a lot of times there's a reason it was at the, and I'll show you if I see it, but there's a reason, because it has some type of blemish. There's a reason it was at the thrift store, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's just leftover fabric that I find that, you know, is from somebody's sewing project and they bought too much fabric. And sometimes there's a blemish on it. So this one, let me see, because I thought I saw something on here. Maybe it wasn't this one. Okay, I don't see anything right now, but I'm just saying if you see a blemish, I'm not saying these fabrics are perfect, because I did get them all at a thrift store, so... Anyway, I didn't see anything right then. This is a really pretty eyelet. I have a bunch of this too, and I cut it up last night. I hadn't shared this before, but I finally got it out and cut it up. You could use it as a whole or cut these little flowers out. Aren't they cute? And it's really beautiful. It's a cottony type fabric, but really pretty. So there's this big square of that. And I'm kind of folding it up small because I want to... The book cover is going to be the biggest thing, so I am going to have to use a big envelope. And so we'll see. But yeah, I'm trying to not make these too big, so I can just, what I'm doing is just putting it all in a bundle. It is a bundle, putting it all in a bundle. Like I'll put these things in little Ziploc bags and things. Put them all here and wrap them up in tissue and stick them in an envelope. So nothing fancy as far as the mailing on these bundles. Okay, so here's another big piece of this. I shared this one last week too. And do I have any more of this? I think I have one or two more pieces. I think only one more of this. So yeah, I'm sharing a piece here. I think it's really pretty. It's pink and green. It could go with probably a lot of different styles of journals. I just think it's really, really kind of unique. I mean, something I hadn't seen before, you know, very pretty. So that, and this is from the smock that I talked about last week that I thought looked like possibly feed sack fabric, but I don't know. I can't guarantee that in any way. But really pretty, and it kind of has a Pennsylvania Dutch feel to it too, because the little people on here, well, they're dancing, and they look like, well, this lady has an apron, see them dancing, and this lady almost looks like she has a little kind of Dutch hat on, you know, little Dutch hats. And there's chickens and little a watermill and things like that on there. Really cute little doves. It looks like flying around. So there's a horse there. So just really pretty. So that's a good size piece of that smock. I had a piece left. I just cut it in half so you can see all of this. It's a good size piece. I'm really trying here to reduce because you know, I want everything put away. So right now I don't have room to put everything away. And I ordered a new cabinet too, so. But that's for my list stuff that's listed. This is stuff for my craft room, so yeah, two different areas. This is another piece of this green and white checkered, or it's almost like a cream color, but a big piece of that. And that's kind of like, almost like upholstery, or might be upholstery fabric, but it's a thicker fabric, so a good piece of that. This is a whole, you know, big doily here. See that? Is there anything wrong with this one? I don't think so. I mean, it's got a little, see, coming apart right there. I didn't cut that or anything. That's how it was. That is the only thing. I don't even see any stains or anything on here right now. But yeah, very pretty. This is the, I got a couple pieces of that, what I said looked like someone sewed together old pieces of fabric and they stitched them together, and I don't know what they were making, but I found them in a thrift store just like this, little squares just stitched together. So this is one, and then this is a piece, see this, I think I used part of this one, but see how this is sewn on, there's stitching like embroidery here, and there's stitching down here, this is stitched on. It's 2 layers, like I don't know if they were making a quilt or what. Here's another one with a little piece of embroidery. See that? Isn't that interesting? She sewed that on, this patch, and then a little piece of embroidery. So I don't know, like on muslin or cottony kind of beige fabric. And then here's another one. Look at this one. They're all different like this too. So it's just kind of interesting. Has a piece sewn on over here. All the corners on this one have a piece sewn on. And then like this is even 2 pieces right here, this too. And then you got 1, 2 pieces here in that embroidery. So several pieces of that in this bundle. I've got a quilt square from a quilt top here, just the quilt top, and you know, a big square, so that could be a journal cover or whatever. You can cut the, because there's actually 4 squares on here. You could actually cut these out too and use them, or even the little shape here. You could cut that little shape out and make that into a pocket or any number of things that you want to do with it. Any of the above or whatever you can think of. This is a piece of vintage, you know, the lace tablecloths, just like my mom had when we were younger and lived at home. I remember putting this on a table, dining room table, many times, something like that. So that's what that is, a good size piece of it. This is kind of like a, what do you call this? I can't think of it right now, but this one, the particular one, is like cream and black and white. It's got some people here, a pretty tree, a little house down here, a little lady down here. So it's just that pretty, like, what? No, I'm thinking of a word, but that's not it. I can't think of it right now. This is called Country Life right there. Does it have, some of these say the maker. This is Good Housekeeping on it. So there was one, I don't think it's in this bundle, that was, yeah, I don't see it here. I think I might have used that one up. Anyway, the rest of this is kind of like trims and things. Here's a piece of crochet trim. Nice, kind of good size piece there. And I'm going to fold that in half. This is from a tablecloth, the trim from the outside of a tablecloth. Very pretty. It's got flowers, and I put some of these 2 pieces in last week's bundle too. This is from that smock again. I don't know what part of it was from, but it was from that smock that I showed you, this one here, the yellow fabric. It was a piece of that, so that's what that is from. And I think that was pretty old too. It looked like it was vintage, like something my grandma would wear. Oh, is this another piece of it? Oh no, this is a little, I don't know, I wouldn't call this a hanky. I would call it, it's a little linen, like maybe for a table, but it's a little yellow linen. It has a hem all the way around. This hem is a little deeper here, and it has this little applique of, it's a fabric applique of butterfly there. So I have that in there. A couple more pieces of this, I call the Pennsylvania Dutch apron, that where it had a stain, and in this one I actually have a piece with the stain on it. I didn't even see the stain on here, and then I washed it, I ironed it, and I was like, what the heck, there's a stain. Oh no. So then I cut it up because I was like, well, I can't put it in my shop with a stain because it was so beautiful. But yeah, I had a stain. There's a piece of it right there, but we can use that. We just call it character, and we call it distressed, right? So that is a really pretty one with the bird and the flowers and this tree. And then here's another one with the fox on it. I put one in with the fox, or maybe 2 with the fox on it last week. This is a piece of that tablecloth where I have the trim in here. This one here, that trim came from this. This is a middle piece from it. So these pieces were in the middle of it, like this plus fabric. and it was squares of this and plus fabric, but it also had some type of stain on it, but I cut out all the pieces that I could and salvaged all that I could from it. So that's a piece of that. So pretty. And you can cut those out. See how there are 4 squares? You can cut the 4 squares out or cut it in half, either way, and make little pockets or corner tucks. So many things you can do. This is a piece of white crochet, probably from another tablecloth trim. See how it's scalloped there? The different, you know, the edge there. And I guess this side is where I cut it off the tablecloth, maybe. I don't know. I can't even tell now. But I'm sure. Did I cut it off a tablecloth? Maybe I didn't cut this one off. Maybe it came like this. I don't know anymore. But it seems like it looks like it was from a tablecloth. So we'll just say it was from a tablecloth because I don't remember now. But this also, pretty Battenberg lace. And there's I said last week, some of these I tried to make a yard. So like I tried to make a yard of this. So you can cut this up and use it in your journals. Very pretty. See that? How pretty that is. This Battenberg lace always looks new when I get it. It always looks new no matter how old it might be. I've never gotten any that didn't look really beautiful for some reason. And then I don't have very much of this left, just a couple pieces. This is the green where these little things are from. These little pieces. And yeah, this was the edge. So this is crochet also, green crochet trim. And then I've added one more doily. This is one of my knobby doilies. It's kind of almost like an octagon, I guess. And has like a knobby. See the little knobbies on there? Really pretty. So yeah, that's in there. So that is it. That's quite a lot. So, you know, you can see how high it is. And I'm going to have to, I just kind of squish it all together. I'll put this stuff in some bags. Put it all together like this. Wrap it up in tissue paper after it's in a bag. And then stick it in an envelope. I might have to put it in a box. I don't know. Remember what I put last week's in, box or an envelope. But I do have some very large envelopes that I can stick it in too. And then I'll just get it in the mail for you. So that's this week's Destash. And like I said, I hope to have another one next weekend. Next weekend I think will be July. So I'm going to try to have a special one next weekend. I mentioned it last week, so I gave you a clue. If you didn't see it, go back and look and you'll get a clue on what I'm talking about. But yeah, thanks for watching today, and I hope to have a crafty video for you later today because I gotta get my crafty time in here. I haven't had any crafty time today. I've just been cleaning up and organizing. Oh, and I've listed some new, I'll go through them in another video, but I've listed a few Reader's Digest this morning. And somebody asked about the little Steve the Steam Shovel book. If I was going to sell that, they wanted it, so I did list that for them. If you're watching it, that is listed for you. So thanks for watching. See you next time. See you later, and have a great day. Happy crafting.